Hello everybody, it's Josh. I was walking out in the sleet and the snow and I was trying to do a video and got kicked out of the park because they wanted to close up early, so decided I'd come and do a quick little video in my car. I want to kind of go into how we feel that the world revolves around us. So when searching for God or when thinking about God, we sometimes ask God, what have you done for me lately? So if we've had some profound testimony where God revealed himself in a glorious way, and then it's kind of been silent for a little while. It's kind of been quiet. You haven't heard God's message to you in your life. We start to feel and ask, God, what have you done for me lately? This is something that I've seen in many people. I've done it myself. I've felt it myself at time to time. Start to feel like, God, you used to speak to me so clearly and so often, and I haven't heard your voice today or even yesterday. Where are you? Why have you abandoned me? And then I realize, no, it's me who's going astray. It's me who's turning away from God. I've seen people have profound miracles. Literally, I've seen someone come from brain dead and in a coma, and the doctors brought them back to life. And yet they still turn away from God. They might say, oh yeah, God is so great outwardly, but their actions show they do not follow God. They do not even attempt to sacrifice or seek him in their life. He reached out to them in the greatest miracle for them and those around them, bringing someone who the doctor said, you need to pull this plug because they're brain dead. They've been brain dead for weeks. There's no hope. They're not alive, really. They're just living because this machine is making them live. And then they were up and talking to everyone like nothing had happened the next day. Truly miraculous. I've seen people who have had beautiful testimonies, just glorious testimonies, where, like my testimony, which was absolutely beautiful, it was undeniable to them that God was working in their lives. And then they ask, God, what have you done for me lately? It makes me think a little bit about Luke 4, I believe it is, when Jesus visits Nazareth, his hometown, and he goes into the synagogue and he starts reading a scroll from Isaiah, and he tells them that I am the fulfillment of this prophecy. And they all go crazy. They're like, no. You are just some poor local boy. You are a nobody. If God's going to work in anybody in this tiny little nothing of a town, he's going to work in me because I am more righteous than you are. How often have you felt that in your life? How often have you felt or have seen God working in somebody else's life and been jealous? Why can't I feel God? Why won't God work in my life? Or surely they're not working in their life because those people are definitely unworthy. Let me break it to you a little bit, some harsh news. We're all unworthy. I saw, was it Jeffrey Dahmer? You know, the guy who used to eat people, the sadistic monster who tried to turn people into zombies at one point by by taking out part of their brain and injecting things into their brain. I mean, just a disgusting man. And at the end of his life, he had said that God had saved him, that Jesus Christ had saved him. And he had said he had did all these disgusting, sick things because he had no one to be accountable to. He believed in no God, and now he realized that Jesus is his Savior and that he understands and he is repentant. And people went crazy, saying, how could this person get redemption from Jesus Christ and then some of his victims not get redemption? A lot of the victims that he chose were, just people who had probably gone astray too. So in their minds, these people were not getting redemption from Jesus Christ, but Jeffrey Dahmer, who had said, Lord, Lord, is getting redemption from Jesus Christ. And it isn't fair. And they want fairness. They want justice. We are all unworthy. And yes, I understand that none of you are most likely as bad as Jeffrey Dahmer. Most likely, none of you are out there literally eating other people. I get it. But we should be rejoicing. We don't know for sure that Jeffrey actually gave his life to Jesus Christ, actually repented and felt remorse for what he did. But if he did, we should be thankful for it. Thankful that if a monster like him can be redeemed, then any of us can. Not jealous that, oh, Jesus would work in some monster like his life, and I don't need no God like that. Oh, really? Because you are so great, right? You are so amazing. But Jesus went into Nazareth and he showed them he was the fulfillment of this prophecy. No one was going to believe. And they asked him, if you are the Messiah, then why don't you perform a miracle for us? These people in the synagogue, these holy people, these priests. And he said, physician, heal thyself. Now, what does that mean? If I try to give you diet tips, you're going to say, physician, heal thyself. If you go into a dermatologist and their skin is all covered in lesions and boils, you're going to say, physician, heal thyself. These people did not want to believe because they were too close to this young, poor carpenter's son. They remembered him growing up and they said, no, God is not going to pick someone like this. God's going to pick someone we don't know. He's going to pick someone who we know is righteous, not some humble little kid. Yeah, they couldn't think of any sins that he had committed, but that didn't matter because when you are a sinner, when you worship yourself, the sin is subjective. But they said, perform those miracles like you did in Capernaum. Capernaum, a city nearby that they'd heard of all of his works there. And when he said, physician, heal thyself, they picked up rocks to stone him, as they often did when he told them how he was God incarnate. All over where he taught, the holy Pharisees and Sadducees and priests, They all tried to kill him. They said, "How dare you?" They thought this is blasphemy. They were seeing God incarnate right in front of them, the fulfillment of all the prophecies in their books, or in their scrolls, and they could not believe their eyes. Because surely God would reveal himself to them in a certain way, not through some humble, suffering servant. I know so many times in my life, there'll be a dreary day just like this, and I'll start thinking, God, where are you? Why are you not speaking to me today? And thankfully, I've been able to realize every single time, oh, I'm just turning away from you. And every time I realize that, I hear him, I feel him, I see him in my life. And I am nobody special. True, I'm not Jeffrey Dahmer. True, some people would have said I was a good person before I was disabled, especially. I would like to make people laugh. I would like to help people. But I did that for selfish reasons. I was all about me. It was all about what I wanted and nothing else. Sorry, somebody was basing, and now I'm literally staring at this squirrel who is going in and out of this trash can in front of me. Oh, it's so funny. He's staring me down. But we don't need to be asking God, what have you done for me lately? We need to be asking God, what can I do for you? It's like the old JFK quote, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. That should be absolutely applied to God. What can we do for you, God? We should feel the desperation of wanting to serve him, even on days that we don't feel him. Because those days that we don't feel him is for a reason. Every single thing is for a reason. The days of silence for a reason. He was silent from many prophets' lives throughout the entire Bible. You know, there were periods of time when they could not feel him and they started to worry. Lord, where are you? Jesus, when he went out into the desert, I'm sure he was wondering, Father, where are you? It was the beginning of him pouring himself out to fulfill the prophecy that we needed for our salvation. There's a saying right after Jesus was getting run out of his hometown for fulfilling the prophecy of Isaiah that nobody would believe. He said, no prophet is acceptable in their hometown or among their relatives. I think that's something that we absolutely... Oh, the squirrel he found something good in the trash can. He's happy now. That is absolutely something that we should understand in our lives. If you have been born again, don't expect the people around you to understand. Don't expect your family to understand. I have been trying to show the people in my family and my friends for 2 years now. God has done miracles in my life, showing them, not just showing me, showing them too. And they do not believe it because they cannot comprehend. Probably it's just not their time yet. Or probably they're thinking, well, if he's not working in this guy's life. I know him. I've known him for years. He's not worthy of God's miracles in his life. They're not going to want you to be happy and succeed or have joy or purpose or meaning in your life. They want you to be miserable just like them. They're used to you being miserable. People, when they are miserable in life, they want to keep you miserable with them. It is why it is so important that you surround yourself with people of faith, people who do believe. Find a church that is actually a good church where you can go there and be around people where iron sharpens iron, as the proverb says. Even there, they might not believe you. It does not matter who believes you. It matters your relationship with God. That is all that matters. All that matters. Don't concern yourself with what others think. Others aren't in this relationship. It is you and it is God. Your job, sure, is to try to lead as many to Him as you can, but you can't force someone to believe. You can't force someone to have this faith that you have. You can't force someone to stop worshiping themselves. I know you want to. I want to. I want to bring everyone I love into my life to God. But they are not ready yet. All you can do is keep showing, not telling. That is what God does the most and the best throughout the entire Bible. He shows, not tells. He let people feel the sting of their sins. He let people feel the weight of their own mistakes. Some people are going to be born again in your life. Some people are not. Some people are never going to come to the faith. It's something that sadly we have to accept. Some people may say they believe in Jesus Christ now, and they are just saying that to feel important. It's another sad reality. We should be encouraging everyone to find this surrender where we are finally free in life. And all we want to do with that freedom is turn it in for servitude to Jesus Christ. All right, everybody. I'm going to get on out of here before the weather starts getting too bad and the roads start going crazy, because in the Raleigh area, when it starts snowing or sleeting or whatever, people, they're going crazy a little bit. They start abandoning their cars and looting the stores. If you don't believe me, just Google Raleigh blizzard meme. And you'll see all kinds of good stuff. All right, everybody. I love you all so much. God bless.